Okay. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name is Marge. I'm a empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. So they start getting real weird, but I'm starting to see how we're connected. How we're all connected. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use our family as an example. Okay? Because everybody says, oh, everything's frequency. Yeah, everything's frequency. We have our own frequency. It looks like this. Basically, what every person on that is a human or identifies as us with the opposable thumbs. This is all we are. That's bright. That's it. That's all people are. That's the electricity that makes the rhythm of your heart beat. Soon as that freak stops, so do you. People are getting away from this. I don't care really what people identify as. I care about what they do with this. What they do with their frequency. Now, what I have identified, I've come to realize of our late is that our frequency. I'm drawn. I got a broad spectrum because I've been out of my soul sack. Now, the more you go out of your soul sack, come back in. Sometimes you have a tendency to leave past parts of yourself places. Things change. Sometimes you gain parts of yourself, frequentially speaking. You know, ever hear somebody say, oh, they weren't acting like themselves. No, you know, they acted this way, and then all of a sudden, they did something. Disassociation. You go out into the ethers and come back. All we are is radio receivers with free will and what we choose to look at, absorb, and use to create. How we create. Earth is an etch-a-sketch, y'all. It ain't a globe fucking flying around. It's create this, create that. And the people that are making the systems, they know it and they're fucking out of control. They're losing their minds. Their inferiority complex is yelling at them. It's driving them to do these weird things that don't make any sense. Supporting American citizens because you can? Just come on, dude. Let it go. You're relinquish. It ain't your earth, y'all. Let it go. Look at Gemini, man. I get it. I got my Mars and freaking Saturn in Gemini. I empathize with you, Gemini sons. You gonna be okay? You know, and in Vedic, I got a Gemini freaking stem. In Western, it's Pisces. I'm all fluid. Very mutable, very go with the flowy until I hit the frequency of bullshit. So, my father's story started on the 35th parallel. I look at the world as a radio, right? And people, based on the frequency and what they tune into, they are magnetically driven through roads and canyons and travel through adventures to create stories. Where's the creation? It stopped. It's stopping. Because the controllers that don't want people to know what your true power is, they want to create the same bridge, and they want you to go the same football game year in and year out, and they want you to celebrate Easter, and they want you to do all the same stupid shit year in and year out. They want you to go along with their program instead of creating your own. How selfish is that? So, things that my frequency is drawn to. I was just always this wholesome, like, you know, like I like teasing and poking and making fun and stuff like that. There's always a line that people cross when they want to make it personal. I do it too. These are, you know, part of my character defects. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. I'm a full spectrum being, man. I also look at every person as the color spectrum. These are things that I picture in my mind. So the color spectrum of, let's see, where is it in favorites? I put it in my, well, I have a lot of favorites though. The color wheel. You're okay, Tuck. You're okay. Your girl's right there, honey bear. Okay, so if you go to your photos and okay, all right, you're fine, dude. Don't do this. Do not. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. Go sit by Grandma Retta. You coming down? So every freaking single person is this. What are you doing, dude? Come over here. Come on. Don't just stand there. It's not where you need to be. Come sit in your bed up here. Please? Go, lay down. Go. Just go lay down, dude. Come on. It's a windy day. My wind signs are activated. I think a lot of, see, that's how I look at weather, too, is I don't look at it as, oh, it's a windy day. No, you look at towns that have people in them, and these people have all of these elements that make up their personality. And then they have free will on how they're going to act. So it's a real windy day because evidently people are acting out. They're not using their free will. They're going into the wind. They're feeling the exuberance, right? People do that too much without doing things forever for others. Without doing things for others. That's selfish and greedy, and then freaking that wind turns turbulent and freaking power outages. I mean, we create this shit. What we put out, we get. You put people in a world of hurt, you're gonna meet that. And you put a lot of people in a world of hurt, you're gonna meet that world of hurt. It's just how energy works. It's universal law. It's not even my shit, dude. This isn't stuff I just made up with. And so my father's story is kind of like his story started on the 35th parallel in a place called Atascadero, California, which means in Spanish little mud hole, because you know that's just what collectively that was their collective conscious. The group of people collectively said, let's name it for a mud hole. And then so all people derived will be derived from a mud hole. That's just how I see life, right? So it's one of those Tartaria places. It's one of those places here. Here's the city hall. My grandmother, see, I think she had more influence than my Freemason father because she was a real estate agent. Real estate agents, they create the town because if they don't like you, all they have to do is say, I'm sorry, you don't qualify for a loan. And then they talk amongst their friends and, you know, because out of the goodness of the heart, they really want to find you a home. You know, they wouldn't help my grandma wouldn't help my mom and her own grandkids find a place out of spite because she resented my mom so much. Because my mom was a Sagittarius, just like my grandma. My mom's November Sagittarius. My grandma, on my father's mother, she was a uh, December Sagittarius sea, and she resented the fuck out of my mom because my mom left the abusers and my grandmother always stayed. And so she hated her because she resented her because my mom was strong enough with their 2 kids to leave. And then my grandma felt guilt and remorse because she came from this long line of strong women, but she caved. She stayed with the abuser. And so, which made my dad a dick, and and he's an Aries, and then he had me, and then he just treated me like shit, and then I learned to accept being treated like shit because that's what you take from family, like awful, like shitty, like I remember one time, for just a quick example, I was 15. We're in LA at a family reunion we were family, but I didn't know these people. They were strangers. We were related. We were strangers. It was at this guy named after my dad. They had the same name, Greg Hessick, only he was a banker and important, made a lot of money. It was his house, and he had a swimming pool. And my dad has never done really anything significant in his life, except have a couple of kids that have done some significant things. And so, I guess there was a lull, and I was standing too close to the pool, and he just likes to get, laughs at the expense of others. This is how I learned not to do that. It's because it's happened to me. Dude fucking threw me in a pool. Sucks. I'm wearing a white fucking shirt, and I'm developed, because I started Aunt Flo first landed at my step when I was 9 years old. I'm a woman at this point, and it's like fucking, now I gotta freaking be uncomfortable and awkward until we can go back to the hotel just because Dad wanted to laugh. And when I was younger than that, and I'd go to his house, we'd have to travel 11 hours on a fucking bus to go visit him just so he could be a dick to me. And if I didn't eat my dinner fast enough, if I didn't finish my dinner before he did, then he'd finish it for me. So I eat real fast still, though. I mean, I could slow myself down, but I could, in basic training, the TIs, it would be like, dude, you got time, slow down. And I'm like, this is just how I am. I mean, I'm made for this. I'm a fucking Aries, let's just cut away from the sensitive, soft bullshit and let's fucking cut to this shit. If people want to be a dick, let's be a dick about shit, And I'm trying to be different because I'm trying to be more from my rising sign and my Scorpio moon and stuff. Like, I'm trying to be softer and nicer. I ain't never put my hands on that and nobody out of anger. I do protect myself. I will protect myself. I don't go out and mix company. The world is not that place anymore. And so, okay. Back to Atascadero. And then my dad, he resented me because I had a speech impediment. And I was this weird little kid that I was always myself. And regardless how much he used to do this thing, like we would go in public and I'm always dancing around and moving around. And it's just how I am. I was dancing at the grocery store today through the produce department. I'm just a fucking clown. And so if it made him awkward and uncomfortable, this bone in here, he would grab that and he would pinch as hard as you could. He did it one time, like it made my knees buckle. Like I was like, I was probably like 6. Like, so what my point about this is I come from the frequency. I come from where people choose to live with their behavior. See, this is where my grandma started a T. She started the Quota Club chapter there. It's a club. I fucking hate clubs because I come from them. My grandfather is like my brother. They're all fucking Freemasons. It's never done me an advantage. All it's done is cause me harm. And I hear stories about how they all help other people as they're not helping me. Like, it's been weird and stuff, but it's just my life and I accept it. And so it's by San Luis Obispo. And in the little... My dad and my brother were born in the same 19-room hospital on the 35th parallel. I was born in San Bernardino. San Bernardino. Bernardino. You want to know what that means? It means brave. It doesn't mean little fucking mud hole. So people, when they're born in San Bernardino, they derive from brave. Then they use their frequency, and what do they do with that? They stay there, And do they keep doing the same things at the same frequency their heart, their relatives have always done? Or do they venture out? And you see, I never got to be born and raised. I've always been an outsider. And I've traveled to all these places, and they're all born and raised, and they're just little pockets of the same. And they're all the same frequency. So they're creating a timeline. So I live in Taos. When I moved here 4 years ago in 2020, right at the eclipse, it was still like, I don't give a shit. It's not my frequency. I don't give a shit about biker shows and shit like that. It's all fucking rape. They do terrible things. Like people that glorify the Hell's Angels. They're Hell's Angels. They do terrible, awful things. People disappear because they get fucking drunk and want to have a good time. Like, what is wrong with you people? The shit that they glorify. Like, you know, whenever there's large group, there's always people from that large groups that are doing weird, terrible shit. That's why I don't do fucking holidays, because people are fucking sacrificing people on the 33rd parallel. That fucking Phoenix dude was talking about it. He's starting to tap in on it, but he don't get the whole frequency. He still thinks that we're spinning on a globe in the earth. And dude wants to be a radio announcer? Like, you don't get how frequency is? A story of a town is no different than a song on the fucking radio that plays over and over and over again. It ain't easy to see. I mean, it ain't simple to see. And the funny thing is you can't get away from the frequency of your storyline. When I was 10 years old, I read a book by an author called Ray Bradbury, called The Illustrated Man. If you know the book, it's a good book. If you don't, maybe you might want to look into the book. But people think that their frequency is just determined for this lifetime. No, this frequency is carried from last lifetime, because last lifetime, your future life, it's all happening at the same time. The only thing is your soul, my soul came into this soul sack to have these experiences, because I said, oh, I'm going to have all these experiences. It'll be great. This is going to be the tune. This is going to be the dash in between when my first birth started, my first breath. I first took my first breath on 4/9, and whatever the end of my dash date is, that is my frequency. And what is held in that frequency is the story of my life and what I've done with it. And it came from an Aries man and a Scorpio or a Sagittarius woman, and they made fire, and they made me. And then my dad, he likes the same frequency, right? He liked the same frequency so much. My mom's birthday is the 28th. He married my brother. He's a Virgo. When they first got, it was fire. Whenever the planets aligned to make fire, they came together, made a Virgo 10 months later, right? And the story that comes with that. Then I came. And I came in April. Fire in the sky, fire on earth. Here comes little Marge, you know, all 6 pounds, 4 ounces of me, right? And then, to bring the fire, you know, because that's what we do, is we bring the fire, we bring the heat, we bring exuberance. And my parents weren't really ready for that, so I don't think, but my parents were already split up. I was a bastard. They got divorced, and then I was some sort of parting gift. They were like one final hookup, and they had me. And then my dad picked another Sagittarius day after my mom's birthday. Different year, like 10 years younger, 15 years younger. Met her at fucking Del Taco in Bakersfield. Had another Virgo with her. So I learned through my Aries temperance. I learned how to temper my fire, because you can never be all that you are around a Virgo. God forbid. You know, my brother, the Virgo, dude makes now it's probably $150,000 a year at this point. But he's an Army JAG, probably getting fired. Like, his storylines are coming to an end because they all perpetuate bullshit, and bullshit can't sustain. And he threw his own fucking mother away, and people that are like that, you don't get to have good long lives your whole entire life. Especially when mom didn't. I mean, it was the system that he has a good life from that created the hardships for her. It's because of the nepotism. Like, it was a miracle that she got custody. It was a 5-year custody suit just because my grandma lived in the town where the court was, so she had all the influence. So they would, she would fucking hang out with these people. She'd sell them houses. She'd, make sure they're comfy. And then so, when her son needed out of trouble, just turn the other. My dad is a fucking he's in the whole society. America's made up of it, And so I went because I knew because of the fucking course of our life. Let me go back to the FreQuency story. So, mom was adopted. We always knew that, and the family that she was adopted to. He was a mayor in New Mexico at some point, so there was advantage. But see, the thing of it is mom was adopted, and then they got her all these, because he was in the military, so they had all these really good benefits and privilege and everything, and so mom got the advantage of it. But then what happened was she turned 18, and then they just said, okay, we're done with you. And she didn't have any life skills, and this was in 1968, and so that's kind of where women started finding men to save them and protect, because it was still that generation, but then they're going off to war, the storyline of the Vietnam and buy Jeeps and have a parade for that bullshit. It's an extension of MASH, only real people died. It's freaking disgusting. And planet Earth is gross. And now we're going through another reset because people are fucking selfish. Oh well. I used to be a lot more selfish. I had to learn to. I had to freaking, Creator has brought me down to my knees and feels several times going, okay, I don't know what to do. I will do whatever. And the places he took me to verify truth, to verify the storyline that is the reality of, that's created by the highest bidder. That's Sudabay Crete right there. That's for shock and awe. These are all fucking Humvees and shit. I mean, it's just all the world is a stage. And that's why a lot of these military members, if I'm not hearing more veterans come out and talking you know what, this bitch is right, man. It's a fucking lie. There were no weapons or raptors. It's all bullshit. But hey, we got paid per diem. We got paid hazardous duty. We got tax free, and we got to see parts of the world that we never get to see. And then, we fucking bombed Yemen, and that stupid fucking Twinkie colored dude is gonna put gold shit up behind him? Fuck you. I don't even care who people are, dude. They hold the vibrational frequency of fucking people that are very insecure. And people with power. Dude, what does he care about immigrants at all? His wife is naturalized. You know what naturalization is? It's basically a free pass to fucking ride. His parents both naturalized. He is an Elon Musk. He is no different than that. Is why they hang out together. He's a muskrat. They attracts like. They're both shaped the same. They think they're attracts like because what they do with their heart is the same, and they only do things to serve themselves, and that's egocentric. And to me, egocentric is ego, easing God out. God is good, orderly direction, not a fucking man on a mountain with tablets. Just don't hurt people. That's all we're supposed to do, and create things that make things better for everyone. And then you have these little fucking bottom twinks that create a storyline like Pasquale, the mayor in the town in which I live. Little Pasquale had a little meeting last night about homelessness. You want to rid homelessness? Every motherfucking mayor in the U.S., you take your little puffy fucking coats, you take your sleeping bags, maybe a tent, get a burner phone. You don't get your own cell phone, you get a burner phone, you don't get the detail, you don't get the car, you get a nice pair of tennis shoes, and you go sleep on the streets with your constituents. 4 nights, 5 glorious days of fucking scrounging for food, trying to find a place to shit, trying to not let people fucking take your shit or put stuff in your butt or hack you up or do whatever else. Every motherfucking mayor, y'all do it. That'll rid homelessness, but you don't want to because you all got to get your stupid cousins paid because you got that low vibe, that low vibrational frequency that just maybe goes bleep every now and again. Just enough to fucking do homecoming, fucking Halloween, fucking 4th of July. Oh, concert in the park's coming back around. Same shit. They live the same year over and over. And I'm talking about every motherfucking small town, big town in USA. When you have that vibrational frequency of dominance and control, and this is how we want it, and everybody else's ideas are nil. Ready for turnover? I'm ready for turnover. I think people are marching soon and shit. See, I don't feel compelled to march because I fought my war. And if people don't want to listen to people that have actually, been a part of the production, people are more interested, like, how many kills you got? You know why people don't like talking about it? Because none of them know that nobody had any reason to die, and then they do things that men in war do when they get worked up and their adrenaline starts going. Then people start figuring out that they got siblings, half siblings in other countries. Men of war, boys will be boys, all that stupid fucking bullshit, so they can give themselves, you know why? So they can give themselves little fucking trinkets. That's why we fucking do boom diddy booms in other places. And then they make other people go along, right? And then they say, oh, well, you're a part of it. You're a part of it. And if they want you to go along and do real good, but see, I'm a clown. And what I do is I fucking prove what bullshit their clubs are. And I even got their trinkets. I got one of these. Like only 123 people on the whole fucking planet has one of these? And I wonder even how many people from Offutt Air Force Base and the history. This came from the floor where they modified the Enola Gay so he could drop the bomb on Japan, which was fucking bullshit. I'm not saying that it did. I'm saying people died and they didn't have to die. So that's what I'm saying. This is me in my clown suit. You know what? I have BDUs on. That's even deceptive. I have my work uniform on. I smell like diesel jet. That's just all for show. Because America's just for show. Here's a couple of words I won. Now, mind you, this is after I got a DUI on base. This is one under the whole base. This is maintenance group. This is maintenance squadron. I don't have a lot of fucking peers. And I still recognize what a lie it was. When alcohol's coming back from dry countries, it's not a dry country, is it? When the people that are supposed to be enforcing the rules and regulations of democracy and freedoms can't even fucking follow these simple rules? Well, they only exist for the little people. I got all these fucking trinkets. They also gave me 8 anthrax vaccines. They tried to create a fucking monster with me, but I'm looking harder for my peace. So, never let anybody you love enlist. You know why I did it? To go to college. That is why I enlisted. I enlisted to go to college because I knew that I'd have to get a good job to take care of Mom. And you know what Creator said? You know what Creator did? Creator said, you know what? I'll tell you what. You take care of your dear sweet Mom. Oh, part of that frequency thing. See, I was born near the 34th parallel, not quite the 35th. I was San Bernardino, right? So I have this plus or minus 2 theory that people are attracted, drawn to each other magnetically by their frequency, not by looks, and and their frequency is a derivative of their energetic imprint from the time that they were born, their astrology. And they carry that energy of the time they were born. I fucking live in a hard energy, but I could have turned out Jenna Jameson. I could have always been her if I would have made the same choice, because we were born on the same day. So I just don't know what time she was born. She was Las Vegas. I was San Bernardino. We were same latitude, and our lives have been kind of congruent. But I went more of the spirit, and she's definitely got more of the ego. I considered porn at one time because I was desperate, but the doors never opened that way, and I'm grateful for that. And so, all the attunements that Mom and I shared, and all the moving around we've done, so I know who the welcoming people are. I know who the freaking, we don't like us. I just have been studying personality types my whole entire life, and I purposefully put myself in these different jobs just so I would learn about the people that made up the jobs. I intentionally stayed out of AI because I didn't want to work with the people and the personalities that worked in AI. And it's so... Anyway. Funny story. We end up in Taos, New Mexico. And then after we lived here, we had to leave Salem, Oregon. I wonder what frequency this is, because a mama's boy needed the house, so we had to move out. And so we had to move from there. And then we moved into a trailer, but we could only stay there until the mama's boy got out of prison, only to go back to prison 3 months after he moved out. And I've been telling the story the whole entire time, what a fucking piece of work this place is. This place is so but it's grown so much, because every time there's a natural disaster, people are coming here because it's so lenient. You got a bunch of, oh yeah, sure, whatever, okay, cuz cool. People they don't have the employees to go around, like people just do it. It's whatever they want. You can hear them driving around all night, and it's not like thug gangster fucking shit. It's like the sons and daughters of the fucking people that run the town and the city, the people of power, because their fucking kids are brats, and they're never told no, and there's too many toddlers with fucking Jordans. So this is the world we bit, because people they never tone themselves down. They're always keying themselves up, and people that do that high frequential behavior, they combust. Something breaks, they crash, and they're not ever doing nothing for anybody else, and there's fucking karma that comes with that. But so we end up out in Arroyo Hondo, and that's where we found out that Mom was born up in fucking Cuesta, and she's related to fucking half the town around here. And that's why people look at me yeah, they hate me. Because my face is their fucking face, and they fucking hate themselves. I went and got us a couple burgers the other day at Blake's, and I was telling the girls, I was like, you know what? I showed them a picture of Mom, because the lady was like, so are you from here? And I was like, inadvertently, and I proceeded to tell her the whole story, which I just shared here. And I said, so inadvertently, I said, Mom, I tell people Mom was born here and not raised. But thank goodness, because I would not be. Likely. Because Greg Hessick ain't never been to fucking Taos, New Mexico. And so, and we're the 35th parallel. And our storylines have, like, it's amazing how it's tuned in. Even all the TV shows that I watch. Like, I have my safe shows, and I'll look up the producers and the writers and, like, the actors in it, and they're all from LA, so we're that frequency. I'm very, but still, like, there's, like, even the ones that aren't predominantly LA based, they have something with the 40th parallel, which is also a very predominant latitude in the story of America. I grew, and there's Freemasons everywhere. Fucking, they just never got the advantage. Reading, Omaha, like and all points in between. But the story's changing because the earth is ascending, so people, they are vibing out of these lower chakral, not chakral, like lower energies, man. They're shackles. They're shackles on your feet. They will keep you grounded on this earthly plane, striving for fucking chasing sensations until your last breath, and you just keep going over and over and over as you are part of the fucking people farm that allows these freaking weird incestual freaking whatever they are perpetuate their storylines for all time. Anyway, it's getting spicy out there. I don't know. I just like to go out early, dude. I ain't messing with nobody. Like, I'm on fucking lockdown. Like, I got my own priorities, I guess I come to the place, and other people can too. That's the thing. I'm not trying to convince anybody anything. I'm not trying to save anybody from anything. I am just simply stating that there are people with stories that have been through horrific. All America is a story. It's all plots. The news puts out stories, and then the public goes, oh, gasp! How could you? You're putting that frequency out into the world of fear. When people put the frequency of fear out, all you are going to do is draw events into your life that are going to maintain that frequency. So you are perpetuating your own frequency of fear by being scared and not taking foot prayers, actions that you have the power to move in a higher direction, and you don't gotta do like the stupid cousins do, y'all. So, it's getting wild. It's getting crazy, huh, Ma? You doing good?
You are a very good speaker.
Oh, thanks, little old lady. We've been watching, see, that's the thing. People that are, like, it's more commonly called, like, I'm out of sync with people. We just don't have a whole lot in common. Well, I'm always looking for common ground with people. But as soon as I see the instant I see, you know what? I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate ethnicity. You won't hear me talk about ethnicity except every now and again I'll mention a drunken Indian because I used to be one.
A drunken Indian?
Yeah. I used to be a sloppy, fucking, messy drunk. Well, I rose above those behaviors. I stopped those low vibrational, that same living in Groundhog Day, just living for myself, always planning, thinking what I could do to make me feel better. I took that away. I started caring about other people more.
Oh, that's nice.
If I was still drinking, me and mom wouldn't be but we wouldn't be roommates. Because it changes my frequency. It makes me egoic. It makes me... I let the demons come in. I'll fucking take off to Mexico. Because it's my world. I'll do what I want. So that's how I can see that in other people. And I know that those people aren't going to want to do anything like make laundry stations in places where travelers can take showers. And more, people are being displaced every day. And we ain't even gotten to the freaking hard part yet. So... either we're going to build community for the whole freaking everybody around, or everybody's just every man for himself and everybody gets excluded. So, we get to make the choice every single day. I clipped Luna's little haunches, her little hindquarters. I clipped them. And then I just ordered some new hair trimmers because her hair, she sheds like more than any other dog I've ever seen, and it's got to be so uncomfortable for her. And so I get cat brushes, rubber brushes, and then at the end of we lived here when it started getting hot and we're getting lazy, and she got hot spots, and it happened 2 times, and both times it wasn't anything internal that caused it. It was just because she has so much hair, and she would sleep and then she would change positions and then it'd get hot and then she'd lick because it'd itch, because when things get hot they itch. And so they trimmed it down. So I was like, yesterday I was very overstimulated. I've been very overstimulated. Yesterday, I said, here, let me try this. And I got my clippers that I use for my own hair, and I tried them to trim, and she let me. And so I know she feels better. Because and so, anyway. Oh, I want Artie and Arthur at the Rainbow Bridge together. This song gets me. It came out right when my Arthur died. Had him 17 years.
17, that's a long time.
I don't like Pearl Jam, but I like this song. Tornado Warning in Omaha.
Oh, wow.
Just Breathe. And that's where I was when I first heard this song, was in Omaha. It was, I'll never forget it. I cry, because I learned a long time ago that I watched people hold their feelings and their emotions in, and then they get sick. Like something happens and they don't process it, where their body is like an ecosystem that is healthy for that, and then it fucking throws them into sickness. And then people are constantly doing things to make themselves feel better. They're keeping themselves sick. It's hard to watch people keep themselves sick. I know what it's like to hurt. I was 200 pounds once. I know I need to be more compassionate to people, and I even know the placement in me that makes people want to tune me out because I'm crass. I'm rude and insensitive sometimes is what Mom used to say, because I just say things, and then I don't hang on to the emotion. People don't say things, and they keep it, and they say the thing that they want to say over and over and over, and it makes them mad. And they say, and then so instead of just fucking, dude, who cares if people think I'm fucking crazy? I don't care if people think I'm crazy. I have never cared. Because to me, crazy is somebody that's gonna hurt somebody. And I've never hurt somebody. I've never physically, violently, put my hands on, my brother has cracked my skull on the ground because he lost his emotional control. I've never lost my emotional control. And I'm the one they said in 1987, you're autistic. I thought they said I was artistic. I didn't but they never put me in other classes. They just put me we moved around a lot. So they just put me in the remedial class. So I just studied people. And I learned who the helpers are, and I know who the hinderers are. And it doesn't matter their freaking economic background. It doesn't matter the car they drive. It doesn't matter their ethnicity. None of that shit matters. It matters is how you help other people. How you treat other people when they need help. Because there's a lot of years that we were the ones that needed the help, and there was no motherfucking system there. There was no fucking cousin. There was no auntie. There was no mom and dad to fucking save her or save me. And it's really fucking funny that we ended up where she was born, and her whole family has a perfect opportunity to heal, because she was the youngest of 13, and they threw her fucking away in an orphanage. And she never complained about it. She just accepted it. And there's too many people that get thrown away. You know why America is such a shithole? Because think about all of the nonprofits. I call them false for profits. Think about all of these agencies. Think about all of the county fucking... think about all the county... all the people that get paychecks. Direct deposit every 2 weeks. They can use a gym. They get to drive cars that say Taos County. That, they don't got to put the miles on their own shit. Because you see them driving on weekends, and they're on, because it's in their mind it's theirs. Because they don't work hard enough to fucking deal with all the privilege that they waste. Right? And they're not answering their phones. And I know this, and they don't even call people at the right time. I moved here with COVID, and we didn't have a lot of income. Things were much different for us. And it was like, we were okay, but it was just like, there was anyway. What was I starting to go with that? I don't remember. My train of thought derailed. Somebody loved my review for the Tractor Supply in Taos.
That's nice.
The manager watched while I got assaulted today. She said I was talking trash about her employee, and I wasn't. See, that's what happened when stupid cousins eavesdrop, and then they fucking react on about things that they shouldn't fucking be listening to, right? That is why I was so grateful to learn things back when I was retarded and stuff, and they said these are all the things you got to do to be a productive part of society. I posted the whole video of the lady fucking telling me about my privilege and stuff on YouTube. The lady, she did, you've had the security of living in the same place your whole life, and this is how you I get it. You know what, Taos? A lot of fucking locals are freaking out because they're getting outnumbered by the outsiders. So their frequency is raising because you're getting all this outside influence. Yeah, this is nice, but you should maybe reconsider that. And comes with that is violent people and people that fucking do crazy things. But they're trying to build this Starbucks here. It's so stupid. It's coffee. Like, but you're gonna have the people of the frequency that live in the loop, and it's like they can't function without their Starbucks, or they like the people, the Stanley people. Now I'm a Stanley person, but I'm not a Stanley Cup girl. My Stanley Cup is a fucking thermos. Like, it's, you know, like you put soup in it and coffee. You know, my dad was a truck driver, and so like it's anyway. So and it's more, and I when I went fishing, I just used thermoses, you know, just but people have to set themselves apart and make themselves this frequency of, and you can tell, and that's what TV's about. That's how the Nielsen ratings, they want to see where people's frequency is. Like, okay, who are the people that are watching My Name is Earl? They might be more God based, you know, they want to do the right thing, they want to make things right. You know, it kind of portrays that frequency. And then you have like the Godfather frequency. I never seen none of those stupid fucking movies, man. Killing people for drugs and butt stuff. You know, gangster shit. It's made up. It wouldn't exist in reality if people didn't see it on TV. Think about it. If they didn't have the seed planted of fucking gangster shit from fucking, you know, Friday, like all the stuff that makes it all cool, it wouldn't be a thing. Oh, I'm pretty sure I break paradigms, dude. Roseanne couldn't freaking. Mom and I have been going back. She's just as much as part of the program. She benefits it. She has a fucking house on Hawaii, fucking house in, like, how many people like have been on the streets or in addiction, and they can say, you know what? I was at a truck stop one day, and fucking Roseanne Barr helped me turn my life around. Like, with all these agencies and all these people that get paid, how many people, because when we needed a place in Oregon, I was calling homeless shelters, I was calling all these agencies, I was calling all of these places where people were getting fucking paychecks to help people that are in positions for people just like me, trying not to be homeless, with my mom with the traumatic injury, and my 5 old dogs and cat at the time. And they're just like, oh, and my brother could have helped me, and he's like, nah, Mom's your problem. Who says that? That's a pretty low vibrational fucking because he loves his life, and his fucking life wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Mom. So me and Mom are my fucking my brother's Freemason sacrifice, and people are like, that stuff doesn't happen. And then, like, I get random pictures from my dad. I didn't even get a happy birthday this year. After last year, he was like, happy birthday, and he didn't even fucking spell it right. Like, he's just a barely there dude. And so I was like, your illegitimate daughter thanks you. And that was it. That was it. Oh my God, there's a lot of Omaha stuff. I used to drive around Omaha and take a lot of pictures. I got fucking like, hi Mr. Iskey on the farm. His family got, see, he got, okay, like I get to tap in on people's fucking like advantage, their frequency, so I could see what it feels like, and then I'm trying to match that out in the world, create my own. The farm where he lives, there's Odie, the dog that lost fucking like 60 pounds. They got the 110-year farm award in Nebraska at the state fair. There's Artie Pants. I miss Artie Pants. Yeah, my frequency, my story is broad, and like attracts like. So people that their vibe is pretty low, they don't like me very much. I scare them. This was 7 years ago. I'd make these little sliders, and then And then we'd watch Bob's Burgers. Huh, Ma?
Yeah.
It's getting crazy out there. So, I don't know. This is where I used to work. Tartaria. Ain't that no fucking energy harvesting fucking bullshit right there? I worked in the right next to there where the blue circle is. That's where I worked in the library. That's Creighton University.
Oh, those are
Yeah, it's all fucking ritual. It's all fraternal order of butt stuff. You know, and then if I don't go along with it, I'm like, shit, I better be careful when I go out and get groceries and stay out of the sun, because if I get too brown, they might think they might want to deport me. Because that's what they do. Dude, a jerk be a jerk, you know, and they make up rules, regulations just to hang people up. Just to hang people up. That's what control, the frequency of controllers do. They want to control. Like, that's why, and they know, like, where people have to be, their brains have to be. That's why military police are the second, they're the second fucking lowest test scores on the military entrance exam. I asked the recruiter, because I got like a fucking 97. So I didn't get a 38.
Wow.
So, you know, don't blame me. And 37, and I think you had, then like after that, then it's like, no, I'm sorry, we can't. But they're the people that wipe down the gym equipment. I remember when Bender, a dude I worked with, freaking like cross trained because he couldn't pass the test
Oh, I couldn't pass the test.
to stay in the job. So they're like, okay, well, you can go wipe equipment down at the gym. You know, he was a buddy enough to somebody along the way that they put him back in age. But dude, everything is like a deal. Everything's a bargain. Everything's a backdoor deal. And then they don't. You have all these veterans that don't like to talk about their service because they know their service is bullshit. But if their wives knew that it was bullshit and that gay while away existed, then maybe their wives' suspicions would be true, and then their setup would be blown or whatever, you know. And then they'd have to fucking wash their own underwear. I don't know why people do this. These are just all storylines in which I have seen in my life. And I have designated my frequency not to act that way. Not to behave like that. Oh, I was talking about Roseanne. And Mom and I started going back and watching the old ones. Yeah, she's just like, it's just as much storyline. Go Bears, you know? Saturday Night, go Bears. Like, keep people stuck in their emotions. Oh, camaraderie. We're here for a very short time on this planet per interval to create a story. And people choose with could perpetuate the same, and then they have generations that portray that same storyline. They tried to do it with me, but I was above the program. I had to fucking listen to hours of fucking Giants games. Giant baseball games and cars on road trips from one end and it's like, and to me, it's not even a sport. I don't look at it as like a guy with a bat, another guy throwing the ball. I listen to it as sounds and pitches. So it's like another program. It's like click, person running, cheer the crowd. So crack, chunk, ha. Like, it's all this, it's just a tune that people get stuck in that frequency. Football's the same thing. Downs, it's like, I wonder if they lined up the pauses, like what music, the kind that fucking makes you shop more and drank more because they did all these studies back in the 70s and 60s. If you put red on the wall, people will eat more while they're shopping. Like, America is all is Corp USA is based on a manipulation, smoke and mirrors. That's why there's people that recognize this and then show you Oz behind the curtain, but people are like, oh, The Wizard of Oz is such a good movie. And it's like, because they just the same frequency and they don't think from a higher level to look at perspective. More and more people are vibing higher. They are seeing things from a higher level. More people are seeing bullshit. You know, hey, that's a lie. You know, that's a lie. You know, people are just calling out lies everywhere. And because the truth always comes out, you know, and you can't perpetuate the lie. And quite frankly, the people that have been running the production all this time, they're not fucking smart enough. They're getting tired. Their kids aren't smart enough to pass on the fucking perpetuation. So everything is imploding in America because, you know, people aren't capable. And maybe they're mentally capable, but how many Americans are mentally and physically capable? What percentage is that? The not very high percentage? I listen to Mrs. Menifee, and I fucking hate running, dude. My pelvis is fucking wrecked, dude. Glad it didn't fucking shatter when, you know. That's why you don't do shit to fuck up. You like, But all that shit is coming out too. So all you people that say, that doesn't happen. I am evidence. 10 months old. I read the police report when I was 12, 13. I was like, oh, that's why my hip pops. Good thing the part that, you know, oh my God! Disassociated and didn't come back. I've always had to deal with, that's why I freaking like, when I've seen lazy construction workers, yeah, I'm gonna fucking flip you off because you're just standing around. There's always garbage to pick up. Like, there's always things to do. So when people are low, just idle, very low, then you're NPCs as far as I'm concerned. You're the frequency of an NPC. You're a character in a show. When I was younger, my brother used to make me play games with him, and I fucking hated these games, like Risk and Stratego. And it's about lying and manipulation and people acting like they like you. And I've been trying to decipher, you know, tune into my discernment because my heart gets involved and I want to believe people like me. And then I find out they didn't. Oh well. Me and Mom are good, you know. And Earl. And the girls on Mom. I don't really like hanging out. I don't know. I don't know. I still haven't made it. We're on the last episode. It's pretty warped, but now they're finishing the Connors. You know? But that's like attracts like, you know? Gotta be careful about how you work with and stuff like that. Even your own TV portrayed daughter might screw you over. Like, loyalty? It's not a frequency that's commonly found on planet Earth. Loyalty. Anyway. Let's see. I think I'm going to try and talk with Quite Frankly soon. I think I'm going to send him an email, tell him a little bit of my story. Because I watch a lot of people in their YouTubes. And there's a lot of people that sit behind a computer and they do a lot of research and then they live their 3D life. And I don't know if the world has been ready to you know, hear all the aspects because from such an anomaly. Because not a lot of people that have had my course in life have even fucking lived to tell this tale. So just because physically the pain is so insurmountable that the medications that they've chosen have ended their lives, and I have chosen different methods to try to prolong the quality of life for me.
For you.
And it's not easy, and I don't always like to do it. It's always worth it. Huh, Ma?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I encourage people to just do something that you don't want to do every day. That's all. It just starts with that. That's how the life of service starts. Just one thing. Like, man, nothing in me wants to do this. Well, I guess I better get my ass up and do it. Because this life isn't about me. And you'd be surprised how your world opens up, how your story opens up. Because people can see, man. I went to what Family Dollar, and the young girl told me I get these like chalks and stuff like that, and then when I'm going on errands and I'll see like people gathered, and I'll give them the chalk. They're like chalk crayons and things like that, and I say, okay, you guys make art, and then I leave them with the chart, and then I tell them take the chalk with you, because it's chalk. When it fucking rains, it'll wash away. Like, you know, like they litter our skies more. Like if somebody has a problem with somebody providing a group of people an artistic outlet, well, maybe you should go suck the sack of ball.
Oh.
And so, and then later I'll go back after they're gone and see and take pictures of what they did. So it's just something. There's all kinds of ways that. Anyway, I told the girl at the store that when I bought it, what I do, and it's fun to do. And she's like, "Wow, that's really cool." She's like, "I could tell you got a really good energy." And I was like, "Hey, thanks. I'm 51."
That's good.
She's like, "You're 51." I said, "I know. I'll never act like it." Anyway, that's what I got for now. What did I even talk about? What I was? Yeah, I did. I think I did a pretty good job. All right, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad